Alright, time to get to some editing. Why do I have my editing desk by the doorbell? Yeah, what are you... What are you doing here? I thought you were dead. I killed you. Ectophase, disappoint. Masked Rider. Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Chiku Seijin ProtoMet, or Earth Alien ProtoMet. I just can't keep up this excitement. This is... I knew I'd have to cover this eventually. I've even mentioned as such in other videos, so... Today we're going to be talking about Saban's Masked Rider, an adaptation of Kamen Rider Black RX. Now, normally at about this point I'd be summarizing the series in my own words, but I kind of don't have to do that this time since Saban was actually nice enough to include their own synopsis of the series in every opening episode. So I'll just be quoting that. So, there you go. On a distant and embattled planet called Edenoi, a young prince named Dex is given great powers by his grandfather, the king, and is sent to the planet Earth to protect it from the advancing evil of Count Dragon and his vicious insectivores. Once on Earth, he's adopted by a kind family and learns to live as a human. With his companion Phoebus by his side, Dex is ever vigilant, ready at a moment's notice to call on his powers to become Masked Rider. Now, again, normally at this point I talk about, or at least hint at, some of the later developments that occur in the show, but this show doesn't really have that. Aside from getting a couple power-ups over the course of the season, the premise really doesn't change, and in fact it actually focuses a lot less on the whole evil villain trying to take over the world or whatever, and instead more focuses on the whole Dex doesn't know anything about human culture aspect, to a painful degree. This show is dumb. This show is super dumb. Why is this so dumb? This is Saban, the guys who gave us Power Rangers. And even aside from Power Rangers, it still had good shows that they released that were also adaptations of other shows, like VR Troopers or Big Bad Beetleborgs. Those were good. So why does this show hurt to watch? The villain's plans have a tendency to be pretty dumb and seem to be more focused on just tripping Dex up or revealing his true nature to the humans who don't already know, and that's pretty dumb. In fact, there are quite a few episodes where the whole villains being a threat thing gets pushed to the sidelines in favor of Dex not knowing how to be human, and this is painfully bad, with Dex, despite having an excellent grasp on the English language, often taking phrases or idioms literally to a painful degree. And the action sequences, while good, are really only good because Black RX wasn't that terrible of a show. But, unfortunately, a lot of the action sequence is just simply lifted straight from Black RX, and very little is new. And what little there is still bad. Pretty bad. Oh, and Phoebus. Phoebus. This character is annoying. Like, Ugh. In his first appearance, he totally screws up the reconnaissance job that Dex and his friends are doing by loudly shouting his master's name loud enough for the villains to hear. Way to go, Ferbus. And the thing is, all the characters treat Ferbus as though he's a pet character, yet he's able to at least communicate and have some dialogue, albeit very little, showing that he at least has enough intelligence to talk a bit. And yet the characters just simply treat him like a pet. And everybody just kind of just puts up with his mischievous attitude, which is really, really terrible. And at this point, I'm just rambling on about how terrible Ferbus is, but the show itself is pretty bad. Again, it very heavily leans on the whole Dex sitcom, not from this planet, not really knowing anything about Earth and its culture, and it's just bad. So, there you go. Masked Rider. A really, really terrible show. I actually gave some of this to my buddy Tank to watch, because he actually really enjoys Power Rangers just as much as I do. And he couldn't get past episode 3. It was that dumb. He gave up. And the worst part is, this is actually in canon with Power Rangers. Whereas VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs are tenuously canon to Power Rangers, this one is directly in canon because the first 3 episodes of Season 3 take place in this storyline. And this show is dumb! I avoid it at all costs, guys. This is... I gotta